First, I'm John Bachman with this Newsmax Now update. The White House this afternoon has been scrambling a bit to clarify the president's plans about the Islamic State terrorists in Syria. The president said yesterday that his administration does not have any strategy yet to deal with Islamic State radicals. White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest says it's not exactly what the president meant to say. He says President Obama was referring to Syria specifically, not ISIS in general. Earnest says the Pentagon is putting together a military strategy so that President Obama can decide whether to extend military operations.
If he does take that step, it will be one that is carefully considered, one that is deliberately arrived at, and one that will be made in close consultation with the United States Congress.
Also, New York Congressman Peter King was on Newsmax TV today and says the president's comments were weak and may embolden radical Muslims.
ISIS is watching. If you were the head of ISIS, if you were Baghdadi, if you were anyone in the ISIS leadership, would you come away from yesterday afraid of the United States? Would you be afraid that the United States was going to use all its power to crush ISIS?
Well, the former chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee says President Obama looks disinterested when talking about ISIS. The president will be in Rhode Island later this evening for a fundraiser, but changes plans to return to the White House tonight before he heads to New York for a fundraiser later this weekend. In Virginia, prosecutors are urging jurors to convict former Governor Bob McDonnell and his wife for corruption charges. The defense says it may have been tacky, but what they did wasn't illegal. Both sides are wrapping up closing arguments today. The McDonnells are accused of using their political connections to promote a private company in exchange for more than $165,000 in loans and gifts. During the trial, jurors heard about the former first couple's fights, crumbling marriage, and financial troubles. The McDonnells could face more than 20 years in prison if they are convicted. Also in Virginia, military officials have now identified the pilot who crashed in that F-15 fighter jet. Lieutenant Colonel Morris Fontenot was unable to eject in time. Fontenot's a decorated combat veteran. He was on a routine cross-country training exercise. Officials are still investigating the exact cause of the crash. And in New York, the family of Joan Rivers says she is in stable but critical condition still. The comedian's heart stopped yesterday during vocal cord surgery. She was then rushed to a New York City hospital. Her daughter, Melissa, released a statement today saying, quote, "I want to thank everyone for the overwhelming love and support for my mother. She is resting comfortably and is with our family. We ask that you continue to keep her in your thoughts and prayers." And NASCAR driver Tony Stewart returned to the racetrack this Sunday in Atlanta. Stewart sat out 3 races following a deadly accident on a dirt track in upstate New York this month. Stewart's car hit Kevin Ward Jr., who you see right here, and killed him. Moments before it happened, you can see Ward got out of his car and then walked on the racetrack to confront Stewart. This will be Tony Stewart's first race, as we mentioned, in almost 3 weeks. More news ahead in 30 minutes. I'm John Bachman. Now back to Midpoint.